Steve Jobs wasn't the smartest engineer in the room. He couldn't code and he often clashed with people. But he had one extraordinary gift. He saw the world not as it was, but as it could be. From the moment he dropped out of college and built a computer in his parents' garage, Jobs lived with deep conviction that life is malleable, that you can push it, shape it, and leave your mark on it. He succeeded widely. He failed painfully. He was fired from his own company, humiliated. Then he came back to lead Apple to greatness. Through it all, he remained relentless, hungry to grow, to simplify, to perfect. Hidden in that relentless pursuit are 5 timeless lessons for anyone who wants to become a better version of themselves. 1. Believe so deeply it feels like reality. The people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world are the ones who do. Jobs' greatest power wasn't intelligence, it was belief. He had what those around him called a reality distortion field. When he believed in something, he made others believe it too, even when it seemed impossible. He told his engineers to design a computer that was silent when running. They said it couldn't be done. He told them to fit thousands of songs in a pocket-sized device. They said it was too soon. He told them to build a phone with no buttons. They laughed. And yet, he willed them and himself into making it real. How can you apply this to your life? When you commit to a vision, your belief shapes the reality of that vision. People often give up, not because something is impossible, but because they stop believing it could be possible. If you want to grow, cultivate faith in your own potential, so fierce that doubt feels like an outsider. The second lesson we learn from Jobs is this: simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Steve Jobs learned that focus is not about saying yes to everything. It's about saying no to what doesn't matter. At Apple, he killed dozens of projects that distracted the company. Let us make 4 great products, he said, and forget the rest. He demanded that everything from packaging to software feel effortless. It just works wasn't a slogan, it was a worldview. When engineers made something complex, Jobs would ask, why? Not to attack them, but to strip away layers until the truth appeared. He believed that simplicity reveals beauty and that clarity is power. How can you apply this to your life? In a world obsessed with more, do less, but do it better. Whether it is your goals, your relationships, or your daily routine, simplify. Complexity confuses, clarity transforms. To become better, remove what distracts you from what defines you. The third lesson we learned from Jobs is that failure is a furnace, not a finish line. When Jobs was fired from Apple at age 30, it could have been the end of his story. But he later said, it was an awful tasting medicine, but the patient needed it. He started over, founding Next, buying Pixar, and learning humility the hard way. Pixar's success with Toy Story reminded him that creativity thrives in collaboration, not control. When Apple later bought Next, Jobs returned wiser, less arrogant, more focused, and more empathetic. His failures refined him, they didn't define him. How can you apply this to your life? Failure is not the opposite of success. It is the sculptor that shapes success. Every setback is feedback, showing you what needs to change in you. Becoming a better version of yourselves means embracing the discomfort of growth. You can't polish a gem without friction. Jobs didn't build products, he built experiences. The iPod wasn't about music, it was about carrying your soul's soundtrack in your pocket. The iPhone wasn't about technology, it was about connection, creativity, and control. He was obsessed about how people felt when they touched an Apple product, the packaging, the first click, even the sound of the startup. Because he knew that transformation happens when emotion and function meet. How can you apply this to your life? In your work, your relationship, your dreams. Aim for experience, not just output. People do not remember what you did, they remember how you made them feel. To become better, design your life like Apple designed its products, with empathy, intention, and heart. Lastly, stay hungry. At Stanford's 2005 commencement, Jobs gave what would become his most famous speech. He told 3 stories about dropping out, about love and loss, and about death. He said the words that have since inspired millions. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Jobs never stopped experimenting. Even when he was sick, he pushed himself to design one more device, one more breakthrough. He lived each day as if it might be his last, and eventually it was. But he left behind more than a product. He left a mindset. Be curious, be brave, don't be afraid to start again. How can you apply this to your life? Growth ends the moment comfort begins. Keep learning, keep exploring, keep creating. Stay hungry, not for the money or fame, but for meaning. Steve Jobs' story isn't about computers. It is about becoming sharper, more focused, more alive. He was flawed, impatient, demanding, often difficult. But maybe that's the real lesson. You don't need to be perfect to make a difference. You just need to care deeply, act boldly, and never stop evolving. Jobs once said, "We are here to put a dent in the universe." Becoming a better version of yourself isn't about leaving a dent the world can see. It is about leaving a mark that you can feel. A mark on your habits, a mark on your thinking, a mark on your courage. Because when you live with purpose, passion, and simplicity, as Jobs did, you do not just build products, you build a life that is insanely great. I am Elo Tiede, and I'm here to help you become a better version of yourself. See you next time.